Hi, 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 hi. Oh, wow. I see Precious is already on. Hi, everyone. I mean, if you're here with us, just drop in the chat and let us know how you're doing. Just put there and say, I am doing good. I am doing fine. Let us just know how you are doing. And, this is a seat for ladies. I know that there is no, gentleman on here because I see that everybody on here is a lady. And welcome, 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 ladies, to our session. But then we also want it to get interactive before we even delve into what we have to do. So just in a moment, just drop in the chat there. Let us know how are you doing? Like literally, how are you doing today? Before we start our very interactive session on building with AI. So let's keep it interactive. And I am checking the chat just to see if at least, hello everyone, I'm doing great. Glad to be here. Okay, I see Marisa says she's so glad to be here. Benomugisha Bridget, I'll just go with Bridget says, hello everyone. I am doing great and I am super, super great as well to be here with you. And I know you've already seen the face of the very esteemed creme de la creme woman entrepreneur that is going to be taking you through building with AI. But let me just let you know that you're so, so welcome to this session, right? And this is part of the ALX mentoring series. And today we are coming to talk about building with AI. This is like literally a seat at the table for African women entrepreneurs. So the rules of engagement is simple. Make sure you are interactive. Make sure you are listening through. Make sure you have a stable internet so you don't drop off at any point because you're going to be getting very big, huge, 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 insightful nuggets from today's session. So, briefly, to not waste time, right? This is how our agenda is going to be. We'll have the introduction of the speaker, and I'm sure you've already seen her pretty face, but there is more to her that I'll let you know. I have a long bio of our speaker today. By the time I'm done reading and letting you know who she is, you'll be like, wow, wow, we didn't come here to play at all. Then she'll take us through an in-depth exploration of building with AI. We'll now have our fireside chats, live question and answers, and then we'll close the session, right? So make sure that you're writing every question that you have. So, ladies and gentlemen, me before I introduce someone, I like to ask that we show some love in the chat before I go ahead to read the very beautiful expertise, long bio of Precious, and you'll be wondering that, wow, how are women doing all this in our tech space today? So let's just show some love in the chat. I mean, you can just use the emojis if it's working. I'm very sure to just show some love. But let me let you know who this very pretty woman you see on our screens today is. So she is Precious Zeno. Now she is the co-founder and COO of Yuri. And Yuri is an AI-driven social listening and lead generation tool. I mean, in today's digital space of AI, you actually like need this. Now, aside from all this, when she's not actually running operations at Yuri, Precious is someone that empowers young teenagers to navigate life with confidence, push boundaries, and refuse to settle for less. And that is the vim when it comes to women empowerment, right? Now, driven by problem solving, innovation, and leadership, she's committed to shaping Africans' digital future and leaving every space better than she found it. So her work has been recognized by Secluded. I mean, if I'm butchering the organization, she'll definitely correct us on that. Also, she's also been recognized by ALX Ventures as one of the top 100 women in tech. She also emerged winner of the Data Melon AI Ignites pitch competition in Nigeria. So today, when it comes to elevator pitch, how to sell yourself, Precious is actually going to give you all that for you to know. And beyond all this hard girl, tech-ish and all that, she's an ex-international beauty queen. And I'm sure you can see it on their face. You can see how the beauty is glowing on there. And she actually loves a good read, especially when it comes to African fiction or unwinding to smooth jazz when the word gets too long. I love jazz myself. And ladies on the call, to our fellow ladies, I mean, we can just show some love in the chat and just put there and say, welcome, 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 welcome. Hi, Precious. Welcome.
Hi, Eunice. Thank you so much. I think you gassed me up so much. My cheek is hurting, like I'm blushing.
I know. I'll stop sharing screen so you can go.
Thank you, Eunice. Hello, everybody. Nice to be here. Good afternoon. It's about past 12 here in Nigeria, and I think some people are joining from other places in Africa. So I think we can, before we get started, I think I'd like to meet a few people. Tell us where you're joining from and what you do with tech. Yeah, so you can just do that in the chat, your name, where you're joining from, and what exactly you do with tech, what you're hoping to learn from today's session. I'm excited to be here and I'm looking forward to meeting each and every one of you.
I know
So,
I'm the
let's
host.
have it in.
You know,
Right.
I know I'm the MC, but I'm here to learn sincerely. Let me just say mine verbally. Now, what I do with tech is I actually use the AI, especially Chat GPT tool, to make it very easy for me in my work. I mean, the moment you just put a prompt, especially if you're very good at, putting prompts in there, you have a very solid work and then it makes life very, very easy for you. So for me, that would be mine. But I see some number of responses in the chat. I could take it for you. I mean, esteemed guest, I'll take it for you. So we have
Oh, please, Eunice.
Marisa. Marisa says that I'm a data scientist
Yeah, a
in
data
Zimbabwe.
scientist. Mhm.
And there's Bridget, who
And
is
then we have Bridget,
Uganda.
who is joining from Uganda. Yeah, nice to meet you, Bridget. Using tech in tourism, really interesting. So what we're going to talk about different ways we can actually use tech and what different industry. I'm going to share my screen now so that we can begin. Just share my screen, share my story, uh, so that we can actually begin. So you please let me know when you can see my screen, Eunice.
Yes, it's up. We can see.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so ALX told me to come speak about building with AI, a seat at the table for African women. I know Eunice did her very interesting introduction, and I think when people sort of read my bio, I'm always wondering if that's me. But thank you very much, Eunice. I am Precious Zeno, the co-founder and chief operating officer at Yuri. Yuri is an AI-driven social listening and lead generation tool. So basically what we do for business is we go around the internet, monitoring conversations around the internet and presenting it as sales opportunities to businesses. So if you are, for example, I think it's Bridget who does tourism in Uganda. For instance, there's someone who wants to come to Uganda and you offer that service, that tourism package, and someone is on the internet saying, I want to visit Uganda. I'm not even sure the places I would visit to have my most experience, my most enjoyable experience. What Yuri will do for you is to notify you of that person who wants to come to Uganda. So that's a sale opportunity for you. So that's basically what we do at Yuri, monitor conversations and present it as sales opportunity to businesses. I think maybe later on I'll talk about it. I'll talk more about it, or you just hear me talk more about it. So Eunice had mentioned that I am an ex-international beauty queen. I'm just going to share my story briefly about how I started tech, because a lot of people usually are wondering, okay, I don't have a tech background. How do I start in tech when I do not have a tech background? I've not been a data scientist for 3 years, and how do I co-found a company? Well, I think for me, I've always been a very curious person. I have always wondered. I've just never been comfortable with basic and just settling for less. So I have always asked questions. I've always wanted to do more. And that led me into pageantry because I think people have a really interesting opinion of what the pageant industry is like. And I went into pageantry, represented Nigeria in South Africa at an international pageant, and I won Miss Ecotourism World 2021. A really fantastic experience. Pageant is not as easy as people think pageantry is. It's quite tough, and I think that stretched me into becoming what I am today, and also into being a tech co-founder, building Yuri. I like to tell people that the experiences and the skills that I I gathered and I built when I was becoming a beauty queen. On the journey of becoming a beauty queen, and even in my 1 year reign, are things that have also helped me now that I'm co-founder at Yuri and running operations here at Yuri. I'm talking about skills like grit, like resilience, like asking the right questions, like being a person of value, my hunger and passion to solve real problems, all of this have ensured that all the skills are pretty much transferable, right? And it has also helped me take bold steps in being a part of the amazing products that we're building at Yuri. Uh, I remember when I got a call from my co-founder talking to me about the product. It was a bit scary, I'm not going to lie, because I felt like, okay, what do you want me to do now? But that did not stop me from, you know, being a part of it and contributing to the product generally. So yeah, so from being a queen with sashes and makeup and cameras and having to smile all the time, I transferred those skills into becoming a tech co-founder. And I think anybody can do it too. I think whether you are a fashion designer, whether you are a stylist, whatever it is really, whether you're a teacher, right, you can really transfer those skills you have had over the years to building with AI, into having a seat at the table, into becoming the next building the next biggest startup. So yeah, so that's for anybody who is thinking, I don't have that background, what to do now? So who actually runs the world? Beyonce says girls. Beyonce says girls run the world. But before that, I want to do a quick vibe check. I just want to see who is doing what with tech, right? Because we hear tech, AI is the future. Everybody's literally building with AI. When we hear pitches, we hear everybody's sprinkling AI into it, and people are doing so much with AI. So I want to know who is building with AI at the moment, or who uses AI for their day-to-day job. Because I'm assuming we have people here who want to build their own startups, people who want to build their own products, people who are probably data scientists, like the other lady who introduced herself. So if you're building with AI or you're, doing something with AI, let's see. Let me see in the chat. Just raise your hands. And just so I'm sure the people I'm speaking to and I can tell. So if you're building with AI, let me see. Let me see your hands in the chat, in the comments. Oh, hi, Esther. Esther is building with AI, or she day-to-day. Nice. Who else? Who else? You can just drop it in the comments. Hi, Bridget. Bridget too is building with AI. What exactly are you can also mention that I also like to know what exactly you're doing with AI. Who else is building with AI? So I know everybody's familiar with ChatGPT. So almost everybody here uses ChatGPT. So that makes you a part of it qualifies you as the right person to be here. So don't worry. Even if it's just ChatGPT that you use, that's completely fine. So yeah, so a few people who are building with AI and people who are also using AI. But AI is the future. Everybody's talking about how AI is coming to take our jobs. Or maybe I should also ask that question. If you're here and you feel like AI is coming to take your job, let me see that in the comments. If you feel like AI is coming to take your job, let's assistant and building a predictive maintenance platform for mining. That's really incredible. That's very, very incredible. Love to hear Hillary. So if you feel AI is coming to take your job, let me also see that in the comments. That one day you wake up and there are no jobs for us because there's an AI who can create videos. I saw a video the new AI tool Google just launched, a Nigerian woman with a Nigerian accent. To me, that was definitely mind-blowing. So if you feel like at some point AI is going to come and take your jobs, let me know. I guess we have very, very confident women here who are like, you know what, AI is not going to take my job. So moving on. So yeah, I was talking about how AI is the future and AI, how many African women are doing a lot of things with AI. A lot of people who come to my mind is Deborah Falokwe, who is the co-founder at Aquatrack, also part of the ALX community. There are a lot of really incredible women who are doing stuff with AI. There are people who are um, sorry about that noise. There are people who are building incredible things with AI. We can see Hillary, who's doing stuff with mining and AI. We can see people who do smart retailing with AI, precision in agriculture with AI, and a few other things. But I think it's high time women and African women take a seat at the table. I think beyond just being users, we now have to be builders. We have to be people who are contributing to the change and people who are building valuable products that is very valuable to Africans and then taking it to the world. Because the truth is that we can't build a future without women. We can't build a future where women are not a part of it. I think since I was quite young, I have always been a supporter of championing the women movement since I was such a young girl. Because one of the things that still stand out for me today is wanting to be someone who can show other people that as a woman, you can do this. You're not limited to your background. You're not limited to your gender. I'm an African woman and I can do so much more. I can have the next big startup. It doesn't have to come from California. It can come from Africa. It can come from Nigeria. It can come from South Africa. It can come from Nairobi, anywhere in the world. So we can take our seats at the table and run the world in the world of AI, basically. So why now? Why us? Why African women and why AI? I did mention a few people who I think are building really fantastic product. I think another person who comes to mind is Dominion. She's also also part of the ALX community, building something really fantastic in Kigali. And I think it's so beautiful all that she's doing. So every single time you're wondering, okay, I use just GPT. What else can I use AI for? Think of how you can use AI in agriculture. You can use AI to sell better, to help businesses to sell better. You can use AI in education. From a teacher, you can become the startup founder of an edtech startup. You can use AI in health to diagnose sicknesses easier and earlier and quicker. So there's a whole lot more that there's a whole lot more that we can do with AI. But I personally think that it can be challenging. I'm not going to lie. I personally think it can be challenging, especially when there's a lot of barriers. But we're going to get into that pretty much soon. Like I said, I'm not going to act like there are no challenges. I'm not going to act like it is it's very sunny and the world is soft. And because we know how to use AI, the world will just accept us and have us um, built. But I think it's high time we create space for ourselves. I remember attending a pitch competition and the one of the moderators was addressing everybody, and I always do the pitches for Yuri, and he addressed every single person aside me. And I thought that that was interesting because I was the only person in the room. So there will be places where people won't take you serious and be like, "Oh, she's just a girl. She's just a girl. What can she really? What is she doing really?" Right? But I think we can be way better than that. I think we can do a whole lot more than that. We can see low STEM representation. There's a divide, a digital divide. There's lack of fund for women. I was going through statistics and I also saw that women startups do not get as much funding as men. And I'm also not going to act like this is a man and woman battle, because I am building with two of the most incredible men. And there are no men in the room, but I've also said men give room for women, because that's also what the people who I'm building with have also done. Recognize capability and say not because you're a woman you should not be able to do certain things. I understand that there's lack of access, pitch decks gets ghosted, there's low representation in STEM, there's a digital divide, tech hub in the cities, people in remote areas do not really have access to tech hubs and all of that. And there's even a bias with AI itself, not being able to recognize certain things or certain African nuances. One of the things that one of the ways we are solving that at Yuri is training our tool to understand African nuances and African languages so that businesses have more precise knowledge of the markets. They have more precise data of the market. They know where they are selling. They know who they are selling to. They understand the market and they get more precise data. So you as an African woman can be that person too. You can build too in that regard. I also saw a LinkedIn post by Deborah over the week, and she was talking about how she has been struggling with building her platform, but then she had a conversation with Chris, and Chris told her that, why are you not using AI tools to build? And that was simply just moving her from being a user to a builder by leveraging AI tools to build by herself. She and her sisters got on the laptop and, they built something really interesting already and have launched their product. So it can be difficult. You might get a lot of no's. There's low representation, but we can also push past all of that by also leveraging AI to build and ensuring that we rise above all of that. Like I mentioned, the future that I see is the rise of AI-enabled women who are solving problems. Ada in Abuja is building a chatbot that translates local dialect for customer service. These are little problems that we think are so little and people are not really paying attention to, but you can imagine the billions the problems it will be solving, and then the billions you will generate by simply just solving some little problems. And I think there's also something with African women and being able to recognize where people are struggling and providing that solution. So the future I'm looking at is where African women are enabled and they are building, and we're creating more and more solutions. We're looking at Nandi in Nairobi, who has built an automated e-commerce inventory management, streamlining businesses operation. We're looking at Kemi in Kano, who is using AI to predict crop yields and reduce waste in boosting agriculture. So we're not limited to particular industries. We're not limited to we're not limited to industries, or we're not limited to specific things. We can use AI to more and more and more problems. How we got where we are at Yuri was by having conversations, by interacting with customers, by saying, okay, what problems are you facing and how can we solve that? How can we contribute to being a part of ensuring that your life is easier? And we had a lot of conversations with marketing agencies, and they told us, you know what, getting data, our social media data is not, it's fragmented and it's not put together. And it's also difficult to generate leads. We're spending money on ads and some ads do not convert. So these are conversations we had, and we knew that, okay, there are problems to solve in different industries. If there's anything I always think of and I always remember, it will be curiosity. Curiosity has helped me really, really well. Curiosity has helped us build. Curiosity has helped us even maintain and be where we are, and also get customers just by listening to them, understanding their pain points, and then building in that regard. So how do we actually secure the bag as African women? How do we secure the bag? How do we become the African women at the table? I think one of the things we have to do first would be to democratize AI education, like what ALX is doing right now by saying, let us bring a couple of people together and let them have conversations about AI. Let us bring people together to say, you know what? Let us talk about AI. Let's talk about how we can build with AI. Let's talk about what are the practical steps we need to do to build with AI. People who are already in depth with knowledge of AI can start creating courses, can start selling courses, can start creating more content on social media to say, this is how you can use AI in your day-to-day. Can teach prompt engineering on TikTok, create 60 seconds videos teaching prompt engineering on TikTok, have online courses. Let's have AI clubs, YouTube classes, YouTube videos, just creating content and teaching people, reaching more people, and empowering other women to have a seat at the table and at the code. I also think collaboration is extremely, extremely important. I have met with people at incubators, and we have gone on to do so many really interesting things together. And women, if I must say, also really amazing women who we've gone on to maybe do something together, who have come on board as customers and also come on board as partners. So collaboration is very, very important. Collaborating with women, ensuring that we're building together, we're lifting each other up, because that's the only way that African women can have a seat at the table when we do it together. And I think another really important thing is build what matters. So no more looking for going to copy people who have built something else, but let's have conversations with Africans. Let's have conversations with people and see what their pain points is, see what their problems are, and build in that regard. So we're no longer chasing Silicon Valley clones. We're solving real problems, problems in maternal health, problems in for small businesses struggling with sales, education gaps in the education industry. Talk about problems with detecting fraud in certain industries. So we're having conversations with Africans, we're having conversations amongst ourselves, we're speaking in communities, we're understanding pain points of customers within different industries, and we're building what matters for this industry. So that's another way we can secure the bag and have our seat at the table. And I think another really important thing is for us to invest in us and invest in each other. Aside investing in yourself, I think it's really important that we have VCs and we have angel investors invest in us. I mean, everything is not aspire to Aspire. We also need money to build. And another reason I'm really grateful for the ALX community, empowering women and empowering startups with brilliant ideas, ensuring that our ideas don't die in our rooms, but they reach more people like they did with us. So investing more women, VCs, angel investors, banks. If you're here, you have that $1 million in your bank, and there's a woman you know who's building something really interesting, give her a listening ear, support her. How can we support her to build? Yeah, respect us by giving us money, believing in us and believing in our dreams, because that's another way that we can really grow as women with a seat at the table. Now, I want you to imagine a world where girls learn AI in secondary school. I want you to imagine a world where we have a lot of women who lead startups. I want you to imagine a world where the next $1 million company does not come from California or San Francisco, but it comes from Cape Town. I want you to imagine a world where solutions are our data. Solutions by our own data and by our own people. I want you to imagine a world where African women are building for Africa and empowering other people to build, because that is what I think a seat at the table looks like. A seat at the table looks like strong, valuable African women who are building multi-million-dollar companies in different parts of the world, leading startups, empowering other women to do so, empowering girls to learn AI in secondary schools, and building African problems for the African people, by Africa to the world. And how do we start with that? We have to start small and dream big. Start with where you are at the moment. Starting and being paralyzed by fear will not help anybody, right? We have to start with where we are at the moment. What can we do? What are those little steps that we can actually take to ensure that we're building the future of AI? How is ChatGPT helping you? What are you using ChatGPT for? Personally, ChatGPT has refined it has refined a lot of my thoughts. It has helped me with research. It has helped me ask the right questions. That's also helped us build what we're building at Yuri. So start small. Start with where you're at. Start with the little non-code tools that you can use to build websites and platforms off the bat. Start with that. Start with using Canva for design. Start with being your own marketer, your own research person, your own operations person, your own tech person. As much as you can do, start with what you have in your hand and multiply it into so much. Because I think women have that reputation of starting with small and being able to multiply it into a lot. So start there, but dream big. Do not forget how big the vision is. Still dream big, but then start small. Learn like a lady. I know knowledge, they say, is expensive, but you can also learn. It has become really easy to learn with AI. AI has also made it very easy, right, to learn. So learn. Just learn like a lady. YouTube to Coursera to WhatsApp groups to communities. Ask the right questions. just learn, watch YouTube videos. ALX has a lot of courses that people are taking to learn AI. I have heard stories. I have a friend personally who took the data analyst course, and she's currently earning with that three to 6 months course that she took at the time. And I know that's the same case with a lot of other people in the ALX community. So keep learning from YouTube to ALX to Coursera to WhatsApp groups, asking the right questions and ensuring that you're not sleeping on learning, because that would actually help you. Collaborate. So don't say I want to, don't try to own selfishly. Collaborate with other people who can help you and who can help you move faster. Ask the right questions. A community like ALX is very, very important, has really helped us grow, if I'm being very honest. And I think ALX is not a community that will leave you. Very, very, very supportive community. So, collaborate loudly, ensure that you're also building in public, which is something that I know a lot of us struggle with. Also, myself, I also struggle with building in public because I'm like, what if it fails? But I mean, not anymore. I'm loud about what we're building. I'm loud about our solutions. It's getting us more people, it's getting us validation. So build in public, post it when you start, tell people about your idea, let them know that you're coming up with a fantastic solution in mining, let them know you're coming up with a great solution in edtech, build loudly and talk to people about it, even when it's messy, just keep building and build very loudly. The next thing I'll say, to fail forward. Not every experiment actually works, but how much you keep going at it again and again and again, that actually matters. If Thomas Edison was a Nigerian woman, right, he would have said, I found 1,000 ways AI won't write my product description. So, you know, fail forward. If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Do not be afraid to start again and again and again. Quick backstory. So at Yuri, we started as a platform for creatives to connect with businesses. And when we started interacting with people, we found out that there was a bigger problem in that industry. And we went ahead to solve it. So if we were feeling bad for not being able to continue with that, we would not have been here where we are here today. We would not be here today. So fail forward. If you make a mistake, if your experiment doesn't work, keep at it and try again and again and again and again, because that's the only way you'll ever really get to the top. I'm going to round up with a few things by simply just saying that as African women, we're no longer asking for permission to be at the table. We're no longer asking people to give us the opportunity. We're creating the opportunities for ourselves. We're building our own products with AI. We are leveraging the tools to empower others and to also build for Africans and to solve African problems. We're doing it with AI. The future of African women in tech is with a seat at the table. And if they don't give us the table, if they don't give us a seat at the table, we're bringing the table with our own equipment, with our own laptops, with our own data, with our own everything. There are skills with the value we have and all that we have to offer. We're building our own table and we're taking our space in AI. And I believe that every single person here is actually capable of doing that. So what is AI without a little, sprinkle of woman magic and African woman magic, to be more precise? I think it's nothing. So let's go ahead to build, let's go ahead to create, and let's go ahead to make money. And let's not forget to bring African jollof. I don't know where it's from, Nigeria, wherever it is from. Let's not forget to bring African jollof to the table, because I cannot wait to see every single one of you on this call on the big table, the AI table with African women. Thank you very much.
Wow, like wow, wow, wow. This is so in-depth. And my take home for me is the feminine force. Like, if they will not put us on the table, we would find ways and means to put ourselves on the table because of our feminine energy and how we are able to run the world. And I love how you started with Beyonce saying, "Who run the world, girls?" Because of course, women We have unlimited power, and that is what Precious has told us here today. But then thank you so much for this. And guys, would have opportunity for you to ask all the questions that you want to do. And look, Marisa says that this is a very awesome presentation. It's very awesome. I listened 2 hours from the
Thank you.
beginning, like every bit of it came with very insightful nuggets that you know that okay, if you're using AI, if you're using ChatGPT for your work, you're actually not being lazy. You're actually learning how to work smart and then to do it well. You know how people have that feeling that if you're using AI, you're trying to kind of like reduce your intellect and not be smart about it. But look at how just ChatGPT helps you to process every bit of your thoughts, how to put your research works and everything together, and it makes it look very good. But then I have this, some couple of questions for you before I allow our ladies on the call to as well ask their question. I'm sure they are soaking in the nuggets, and so they are still in awe of everything that you have given them. So me, mine, I'll start with the fact that throughout your submissions, I hear you like speaking about the fact that we should start change from home. If we want to see change, then we should start it from home. But then what does that mean to you, personally and professionally? Like, what does it mean to say, let us start change from home?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But that's something I say often. I think change actually starts from the home. And if let's bring it down to a more personal level, which is from your own home. What kind of person are you? And also connecting it with AI. What do you use AI to do even at your own home, right? Um, are you using it to create your calendars quickly? Are you using it to create your to do this quickly? Are you using it to arrange your day and just troubleshoot and have better come up with better ideas and quicker, right? So I think change actually starts from home. Also, what kind of person are you? Are you also solving problems in your own home, right? Then let's bring it down to Africa or to your country. How are you solving problems in your workspace? Let's even start from there. How are you solving problems in your workspace? How are you changing things? How valuable are you in your workspace? Are you asking the right questions? Are you asking how your steps are making the lives of other people easier? Are you being a difficult person to work with? Right. So from your home to your workspace to your country, and then before taking it to Africa, change starts from there actually. It starts from the workspace. What are you doing? How are you being valuable? How you being a problem solver? How you building important structures in place before you can then take it to the world. Because I think if you don't figure it out at home, it's gonna be difficult to take it to the world. So yeah, that's what I think. That's what I mean when I say build from home.
Yeah, 100%. 100. If you don't start from home, how do you then take it out to the world? And you're a very versatile woman or lady, like very versatile. You alone, you are a co-founder, COO of Yuri. You're also an ex-beauty queen, and this is a very fascinating contract, if you're looking at it from that side, because beauty queen to being somebody who is like very, very intellectual when it comes to the tech space. But then generally looking at this too, how have these diverse experiences like shaped your leadership and the way you see the world? Because you actually have like kind of a 360 view of here and there, like beauty queen, that side of the world, and then the tech space. So how has this like shaped how you see the world and your experiences?
So in yeah, I agree. I feel like they're worlds apart, honestly. They're actually worlds apart. But like I mentioned at the beginning, every single skill, every single thing I used in becoming a beauty queen, I'm also leveraging here. So one thing about the pageant industry is that people who actually succeed in the pageant industry are people who have a heart for people who want to solve problems too. I think I've been saying that a whole lot. People who want to solve problems for people. Who who are hungry for change, right? Who are passionate about something and are hungry for change. And I think that has also reflected in how I run operations at Yuri and also with the products that we're building at Yuri. We've
Yeah.
been able to, yeah, so that. desire for someone who is coming to use our product to say, oh yes, I used it and oh my God, it helped us scale marketing. Like we've gotten reviews from people and people say, oh my God, we generated all these leads from social media with your platform and we have sold to ABC people. So that we wanting to be able to see our product to do that, and also in the pageant industry, ensuring that people's lives are better, basically. That as all of that has translated into the patenting, into tech. So I've used all of that hunger, all of that passion, all of that tenacity and resilience, and translated this into my role here at Yuri.
Nice. Now
Yeah.
you know the thoughts that we always have that AI is actually going to replace humans, is going to replace us, and some years to come, humans are not actually going to be needed in the field of, searching for jobs or even in our workplaces or our workforce. We will no longer need humans because AI will do everything for us, which you and I and everybody here strongly doubt that because at the end of the day, we need humans to regulate this AI. But then, from your perspective, how do you think that we as African women can actually use AI to enhance opportunities for ourselves? So, the better part of it.
Okay, I think that's a really great question. I've also had conversations with people who are scared and freaked out, like, oh my God, AI is coming to the job. It's honestly, but I think AI is not a threat. I don't think it's a threat to our jobs. I think it's an empowerment. It's what we make of it, to be honest. I think it's an empowerment tool um, in the hands of women, right? And in the hands of people generally. I feel like we can take AI to empower ourselves to build. We can use it as a tool in our own hands to build, right? So it should not come as a threat. ChatGPT hasn't taken your job yet, and I don't think it will. It's how you use it that will determine how valuable you are. So if I'm one of those people, if there's anybody on the call who's like, oh my God, ChatGPT is going to, cause some AI is going to take my job, I think it's more important that you learn how to leverage AI to be more valuable. Learn how to leverage AI to make your workplace say, okay, this person knows how to use AI and is an expert with AI. Anything AI, she's the go-to person for that industry. She's the go-to AI person for marketing. She can leverage that AI to ensure that we're making millions. That is why I think that's why they'll employ you. I think that's why you will still be valuable to your team. So yeah, AI isn't come to take your job. It has come to empower us to
Mhm.
do better, to do better. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And then finally, I mean, you've said, you've given us all the tough side, all this international beauty queen, co-founder, like very tough side of like the feminine vibes and the feminine energy. But then when you're not building all this, when you're not empowering teenagers, you're not into, building AI and all that, but you're not doing your beauty pageantry thing. Where else do you like try to find joy, creativity, and inspiration when you're not doing all this? Don't tell me this is what gives you all the joy.
Mean, you're asking me now, I'm trying to really think about it. What do I do to relax? I think it's a tough question, but I try my best to read. So I have a few friends who I have really interesting and very important conversations with. I think it's important to have a community that you can still have great conversations, valuable conversations, but also relaxation for you. So I have really interesting friends that I hang out with and we can have really interesting conversations. But I also read. I love African fiction.
Mm.
I have some really interesting books. There's one I'm currently reading. I won't share yet, but but it's very interesting. So I unwind with music too. I'm a music girly. I really like to listen to music. So aside book and then music, what else do I do? Yeah, I think that's basically that. I don't think I'm such an interesting person.
I think
Yeah,
you are. I think
that's
you are.
basically what I'm thinking.
Right. And there's a question here for me from Blessing. Blessing is asking, how can I build a platform or app with AI? And she means like practical ways to build a solution platform or an app with AI, like creating a platform that can solve real human problems. So I mean, how can she actually use AI to actually build a platform that can solve like real human problems?
I think that's a good question. And I think it's another thing another place people are stuck with. So where do I even start, right? So the first thing would be, what problem are you solving? What problem are you choosing to solve? So for instance, say you're in the education industry, say you're a teacher, and you want people or children in remote areas to have more accessible way to learning. So the first thing you have to do is to figure out what problem you want to solve. That's the first thing you have to do. So what problem am I solving? And what industry am I solving, right? Once you identify that, you have to choose what tech platform that you can use. ChatGPT does a lot with coding nowadays. There are different AI tools that you can use to code. I know that there's Glide. I know there are simple AI tools you can use for CRM, right? So if it's tech, there, like I mentioned, ChatGPT is your superpower. And beyond ChatGPT, there are other AI tools. Your superpower, literally. I promise you, if you go to ChatGPT and type in a prompt, okay, so I want to build this. I do not have a software engineer. I have little or no code experience. Where do I start from? It will surprise you to know the amount of information and useful information that you can use. Then there are other tools that you can use to manage your clients, to manage your customers, to generate leads, like using Yuri. There are other tools you can use to manage social media to ensure you're doing the right thing. So once you figure out what the problem is, yeah, Hillary said you can also join the ALX Founders Academy. Very important and very true. So yeah, so ask the right questions. And there's a multitude of opportunities and multitude of platforms that can help you build solutions. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Mhm. Yes, that does. Does anyone have a question? Leverage on this and ask all the questions that you want to ask, right? If maybe at the moment you are in between places, you can just type in the chat. Because I mean, I think these are like one-time opportunities that you grab. And when you find experts like this with you on the call, it's important that you ask all the questions that you want to ask them, because they have like, I'm sure Precious has a very busy schedule. Maybe if you go and message her, yes, you get a response, but it may not be prompt to. But this one is like real time. You ask, you ask, and then you get the feedback. So if you have any question, please go ahead and then ask. I know there's quite a number of females on the call, and this is a very intimate session. I really love it, like close knit. So feel free to ask your question. Nobody will judge you. It's a free space. Feel free to ask it as it is, and then get all the insight you want. But there's also that saying that when no one has a question to ask, then it actually means that everyone actually understood everything that was being said, and literally every bit of the presentation covered everything that they may have asked. And you've already answered it in your presentation, so they have no question to ask. But again, I'm opening the floor in case you want to ask your questions live. Feel free and then ask your questions live. Maybe you are like me, you want to talk. Aside from today that I have one or two hitches in my voice, I'm still trying, I'm still trying there and about with my voice. But you can go ahead, unmute, and then ask your question. If you have any question, just unmute and then ask. If you're good to go with the session and there is no question that you have, give us a thumbs up. Let us know what's up. But then I'll throw this question to us as we are doing the thumbs up. What is your one key takeaway from the session? I know we'll be closing now. I'll start with anybody. I mean, just drop in the chat. What's the one thing that you have learned from this session that you take with you, you hold in high esteem? That Precious would say that I came for this. Oh, Jane, is that Jane? Jane, the floor is yours.
Yay, it's me.
Do you have a question or you want to say something?
I don't have a question, it's just a comment.
Hmm?
And first of all, hi, Eunice.
Hi.
Okay. So what I'll say that caught my attention was the power of collaboration. And recently I was in a certain meeting and collaboration was really emphasized. And I'm so happy that our guest speaker of today also emphasized on the same. Like we are so used, especially Africans, we are so used to competing with each other instead of collaborating. But now it's high time that I and you can take that step and collaborate, think of ideas and work together. Yeah, that's the only thing I would have said. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's very, 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 very true. Oh, I see a lot of who. Does anybody want to go? Oh, someone was clapping. That's nice. And again, you see, Precious. I told you there's no question. They said, love your presentation, very lively and cordial. So they don't have any question to
But
ask.
can I
Mm-hmm.
question? I know
Yes.
that we're almost out of time.
Oh, it's fine.
Yes. So I think I also want to, like, it might lead to a more interesting conversation, but I also want to hear what women are actually struggling with in the tech and AI industry, right? I want to hear what people are what women are struggling with, like maybe a more personal experience. Yeah. Marisa says her key takeaway is curiosity to discovering problems and generating solutions and meeting collaborators. Because I think it's also really, like I said, I love to listen to people. So if you let me, I'll actually just really listen to really hear everybody talk. But if there's like a more personal experience that you have, you can let me know. And I know I also spoke about discovering problems and discovering problems that are in the African industry. I think it's very important to mention one way that you can understand the pain points of Africans and the problems that they're trying to solve is by listening. There's one thing I say when I'm talking about our product, and it's the fact that in 2016, Flutterwave missed out on building a solution. But if you hear the story about PiggyVest, it was simply people who went online to listen to it, to pick up a tweet about people struggling with savings, how young people were saying, oh, we're trying to save, what platform can I use to save? And they just simply picked that comment up and they built PiggyVest. Now, PiggyVest is a multi-million dollar product, right? By listening to people, listening to conversations, listening to things happening to Africans on social media, Yuri has created that opportunity for people. So I think it would be great if people here are trying to, find more problems to solve. If there's something particular that you've not solved, or if there's even an industry that you are looking to, okay, maybe I'm in this industry, but I don't know where exactly the problem is. For the ALX community, I think we want to give a free trial to the ladies here today. Eunice, don't you think that's a great idea?
Very. What is the trial?
So it's a free trial to listen to conversations within your specific industry.
Okay.
Understand what people are saying about the problems in this industry. So like I mentioned, how are you solving problems and what problems are you solving? So people solving in the industry, or are people facing in this industry? All you simply have to do is it's a free trial. So all you just have to do is sign up and use the platform. Use a keyword feature to search for specific keywords in your industry and hear what people are saying about it. There's also a sentiment analysis that also allows you understand how people feel about a specific industry. Beauty industries use this. Retailing industries, e-commerce industries use this. Fintech, education industry use this. So simply visit jurycreative.com and you have a free trial. Just sign up. It's completely free for just the women in the building today. I haven't shared this anywhere else.
You said creative.
I haven't shared this anywhere else. Yes, so it's yurecreative.com. There's a free trial for every single person who wants to listen into conversations, understand where the problems for people are. If you want to also generate content, it's for your brand, it's for leveraging AI to generate content as well. You can do that with Yuri. So I have dropped it in the chat. And if you already have a solution and you want to see opportunities for sale, you can as well do that. Do that on Yuri. So I'm going to drop it again, yurecreative.com. I think I've had a really fantastic time here today.
I also have. Guys, let's go. This is a platform for us to go click on it and then as women collaboratively talk about what it is that we are facing, whatever solution and all that we have to it. And it's simple. You just click on it. Go. We'll not get this anyway. So this is like our bonanza for attending the session from from Precious. So please go ahead and then do that. And then Precious, for the question you asked, right? One of the things that we on our side have seen that women in tech face is balancing their tech demands with their personal life. Because most of them
Mm,
are either mothers,
mhm.
and again, they're career women. And then to top it up, they're trying to take a tech course or trying to delve into the tech space. And they do hard things, mantra. They also have that in their mind, like tech. And some of them also have it in their mind that tech is hard. Tech is not for women. If I try software engineering and I know they sit up, let me just run away and go because I have a baby to take care of. I have a husband. All those demands actually doesn't help. So it's good you've dropped this link. They can go in there and then put all these things there so that collaboratively, guys, I haven't taken tea, so the word collaboratively is not coming out fluently, but then you would be able to work on this together and then and then solve it. Okay, and I see Precious has her LinkedIn profile. You can search for her on Precious Zeno at uricreative.com.
Yeah.
Precious, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is like
Yeah, and I think it's also important that you mentioned that because I can also build solutions for that. I mean, I can't think of any solution, but you mentioning that women struggle with finance and all of that. Someone here can say help women find a balance with work and with tech and my personal life and come up with a fantastic product will pay for, mothers will pay for. So listen to what people are saying and build solutions for. That's what I think. Yes, you have to sign up first. So sign up and you have a trial.
Okay, thank you all so much. Is there anyone that has any question you would like to ask? I know we have 4 minutes more to go. So if you have any question, maybe you want to unmute and then ask live. Maybe now you've been gingered more to ask a question. Now you've gathered the vim and or now you are no longer in between places. And so you're able to ask questions because apparently it will be lunchtime in some countries. You can just go ahead and then ask your question and then we are here to address and then answer. But then aside from it, the key takeaway is the feminine focus, like feminine boost. Let's support each other, women to women. Let's support each other. Stop the competition and she's going and I'm not going. And let's collaboratively work together because women together would be like a full force that I don't think would ever have a contender. And then let's keep pushing, keep doing it because we can do it. Because look at Precious. Ex international. In fact, when I saw it, I was surprised. I was like, wow, beauty queen. She delved into the tech space, co-founder of Yuri. I mean, it's just mind-blowing and it's amazing to see a woman doing all this. So it means that we also have the potential to do it because if our fellow woman is doing it, why can't we do it? We can also do it. So let's just push it, try our best, and I'm sure would also do it and would hit the mark and also let's continuously support each other. But then I'll leave the last words for Precious if she has any goodbye final cake. Maybe this will be the icing on everything she would like to give to us. Then we take it and then we exit the space. So over to you, Precious, for our closing remarks.
I think my final words would be there's a seat at the table for you. Um, don't shy away from it. There's a whole lot more that you can do, and you will not know how capable you are until you start. So start from where you are, start with what you have, and let's take the seat at the table. So thank you so much, Eunice. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much too for doing this with us. I wish I had a glass that I could raise and then just cheers to everything that you've said. But thank you all so much for joining and thank you so much, Precious. I mean, on behalf of the team, like thank you so much for doing this with us and
Thank
gracing us with
you. Thank
such
you.
insightful experiences that I don't think would get just like that. So thank you so much for this and we truly appreciate you. And I see Hilary says, well said. I mean, I'm ending with Hilary's. word. She said, well said, great session. Thanks, Eunice and Precious. And guys, we'll see you again. Until then, remember, as a woman, you can do more than you think you can do. Just harness that feminine energy and you'll go places. So bye, guys, and see you all next time. Okay, so we can exit. I
Bye.
think we are done. Yeah. Bye.